Hi NewBeauty, I'm Sandy Linter, here with Alexandra Richards, whose mother I have known for many years. I did this makeup on Patti Hansen in 1979, and this is the illustration detailing exactly what I used and exactly what I did back then. Photo by Bill King. Everywhere I go, some makeup artist will bring up the fact I did Disco Beauty, a book that I did in 1979. And so I thought, why not do a look that I actually did do 40 years ago? And coincidentally, we managed to get Alexandra Richards in here today. And her mom is in the book. So it just makes sense that I translate Patti's makeup done 40 years ago today on her daughter, Alexandra. So getting started, I'll just give Alexandra a lightweight moisturizer. After moisturizer, I taught myself to use a concealer or derma blend on the lid and blend it across her eyelid. And this just gives me a base for liner shadows. This is what I always do. I line the eye with a black pencil, and it doesn't have to be a thin line. Then right here, I make 3 or 4 little horizontal dots or dashes and blend that, working from outside going in, and continue under the eye.
Sandy, so where did you learn how to do all of this?
So when I first started doing makeup, it was so long ago. I'd say it was like 1972, 73, and there was no one for me to learn from. I could look at magazines like Vogue, Glamour, and so I used to study the faces and figure out how they got to look like that. If I'm true to Patti's photo, the shadows that I used were green and peach. I found this beautiful palette with a sage green shade. Going to apply the shadow with a medium-sized brush. Then I'll take a larger brush and just smooth that out. And just because I'm copying a Disco Beauty, I have to put a little sparkle. This will look great on you, Alex, the rest of the day.
I'm looking forward to it.
When you layer shadows the way I'm doing it on top of pencils and on top of a primer, you'll find that the shadows do stay on very, very well. The makeup today is not as intricate as the makeup that we did in 1979. We had great colors back in the day and great products, but they were a little on the heavy side. Alex and I both agree. She is a person who needs 2 foundation shades because her skin is very warm, and yet it's not really warm enough for me to use a tan shade on. I use the back of my hand as a palette. I put the light shade on first, and then a little bit of the darker shade. Take a good foundation brush, and look, the center of the face, and then dab a little bit of the deeper tone on the cheeks, working downward. Try to find a concealer that doesn't move around so much. And also, this is the one thing on your face that you need to look at during the day and say, do I need to retouch this? You cannot put concealer on and blend it in with your fingers. Don't try to do that because your fingers have warmth to them. So find a little brush that's easy to work with and stick with that. Going to go in now and give Alex a little light blonde eyebrow. And I start at the arch and then finish off. But when I used to do Patti's makeup back in 1979, there were many times when we didn't put any brows on at all.
I know she always used to say that they used to like pluck the eyebrows. I mean, nowadays everybody's wearing a brow.
Yeah, makeup kind of
Minimal.
evolves and everything comes back, so get ready with the tweezers, girls.
Yeah.
I would like to add a little color, and while I'm doing the color, give her a little contour. It's kind of like a flesh tone color. It's not really dark. And then I'll put blush on top of the cheekbone. Just put it here on the high point of the cheekbone. I prefer to really show off the cheekbone rather than the apple cheek look. I'd like to apply lashes, and I like to start at the end of the eye. Don't put too much glue on the lashes, just a tiny little bit. I'm going to wait a minute or two while the glue dries, and then I'm going to retrace using a liquid liner the top lid. Back in the day, I would use a red lip liner, a brown lip liner. The lip liner was really important back in the day, and it was really, really strong. They did not make nude lip liner. But today, I'm doing a real natural, and the way I do lip is I go from corner, down, corner, down, a pale lip. And lip liner is back. It's one of those products that was discarded for many, many years in fashion, and then now it's made a comeback. And you can top it off with a gloss, or just as a tribute to Disco Beauty, one of these beautiful iridescent lip colors. I like to put powder underneath the cheekbone because it brings more attention to the cheekbone. The only place I don't put powder ever is on the cheekbones, because you want the cheekbone area to lift and to shine. Make sure you're using a very fine powder that is not going to crease.
Who do you think right now is like the hottest trend, or who do you like?
I love the work of Pat McGrath. Her work has always inspired me. Charlotte Tilbury is amazing also. She's got really great ideas, and she's translated that also into product. And these girls are killing it right now. She looks fabulous. Thank you, NewBeauty, for having me do Alexandra Richards. She's off to Mexico City. She's DJing tonight, and she's gonna look